So I'm making this video today to let you know that there's a very high likelihood that you will never make a single dollar on YouTube. And that's unfortunate. I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just letting you know because the reality is that you're trying to play a game, but you have yet to understand the rules of that game and how to play that game. And so you're going into this thing completely blind, listening to the wrong people online and using your intuition to make decisions. And it's just never going to lead to this business model being fruitful financially for you. It's actually going to end up being a burden and put you in debt. And so I had to make this video because number one, I need you all to know that you are not going to make any money in this unless you get extremely lucky. You're not going to make money unless you understand how the business works, how the systems work, how the algorithm works. And so I've spent a lot of time putting this entire document together that's going to go through all the nuances, understanding this thing from scratch, how to make this thing work. And I'm actually going to go through the entire process of creating a video with you, right? So both processes of creating a video yourself, if you want to do it yourself, or also hiring it out and automating it, hence YouTube automation. So I'm going to show you guys both sides of the coin. So you can choose if you want to save some money and do it yourself and be ambitious, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to show you how to do it correctly. And if you want to use your funds to scale the business, I'm also going to show you how to delegate it correctly so you can actually make the money from this business model. Because again, most of you unfortunately won't. And I know this because I work with thousands of people and I know those who will and those who won't. And those who do make money are those who take the time to understand the system and the algorithm behind the business model. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So I want to go over some of the basics here, which is just understanding the different forms of content on YouTube. All right. So we have three different kinds of content. We have the personality channels, which are those people who show their face, as I am right now. You have the faceless channels, which we're going to be talking about today, which are basically the anonymous style of making money. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody will ever know who you are. You are in the shadows collecting the paychecks. That's what we want to do. And the last one is reaction channels, people that actually react to content. We're not going to talk about it today. It's just a whole different way to approach YouTube. I just want to discuss all three styles. So faceless channels is the topic of today's video, and we're going to show you guys how to build those correctly. Now, why would somebody want to create faceless content? The first thing is, like I mentioned, it's completely anonymous. This does not have anything to do with you at all. Nobody ever needs to know who you are. You never need to show your face. It's actually really great. It can actually be run without you. It's a machine that gets built that runs 24/7 operationally. Right? So you have an entire team behind the business model that runs without you. You're essentially systemizing the entire business model, all right? There's also no lifelong expectation, meaning when you're an influencer or personality or a vlogger, people rely on you to continue creating content because they like you and they want to see more of you, which means you are essentially tied to the outcome, right? So if you want to make more money, you are having to spend more time to create more videos, which in turn makes you more money. Versus a business like this, you don't actually exchange your time, you exchange systems. If you build systems and delegate the entire process, you end up making money while you sleep, right? There's no camera required, there's no mic, and there's no studio equipment as well. Because again, you're actually delegating this out or using very, very basic stuff to create the content yourself. I'll show you both sides. It's also introvert friendly. This is a huge one. Most people want to run a business. They want the perks of running a business, but they don't want to have to sell people. They don't want to have to get on sales calls. They don't want to have to send emails. They don't want to have to get on camera and talk to people and have this like face-to-face interaction. Not many people actually want that. They just want the perks of running a business and making cash. And so that's where this business model becomes very lucrative because it's very introvert friendly. If you don't want to ever talk to anybody ever, you can and make a lot of money at the same time. It's also extremely cheap to start and run. If you want to do this thing yourself, you can do this with simple AI tools and a laptop. You know, you can literally do this for next to nothing. And most of us have the tools already at our disposal. ChatGPT, most people actually have the pro plan. They're using it just casually, right? You basically have all the tools at your disposal. It can cost you like $100 a month to do it yourself and actually turn this thing into a machine that's printing thousands of dollars. And it also doesn't require any experience or skills. The hundreds of people that I've worked with, maybe less than 1% of people have ever come to me with experience that have a YouTube channel that's making money already or even know what the heck this whole thing is about. Nobody I work with has any experience or skill sets coming into this, yet all of them come out making money. So I'm telling you now, you do not need experience or skills. All right. So that's why faceless content, just a little crash course there. All right. Now, why would you want to build a channel specifically? All right. So why YouTube automation? Why build a channel? Number one, These are literally digital assets, right? I call it digital real estate. It's like each single channel you build is like having a rental property somewhere around the world that people just come in, they live, pay rent, and move on. You have literally a passive income system that you've built essentially from all people around the world can pay you simply because they're just enjoying your content. It is absolutely beautiful. These are also recession proof, right? So when COVID hit, many people were absolutely wiped out. Business owners, even employees, YouTube channels exploded because people were sitting at home consuming content. There will never be a time in the world, especially now with how social media is so prevalent and people spending time and everyone has a computer or phone, tablet, everyone is watching content. Everyone's on YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube. So even in the worst of times, people are consuming YouTube. This business model, this income stream for you will never die off. You will always have demand. Regardless of what's happening in the world, you are safe because you have income coming in from the videos and the cash being generated because of the machine and systems you built. That's why this is super lucrative. Also, everything grows in compound. It's infinitely scalable. You can start one channel, get it to the point where it's making $3, $5, $10,000 a month and go off and start a second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th channel. Nobody will stop you. The limit is essentially when you drive yourself crazy. There's really no limit to this business model. And it's also in high income skill because if something ever, God forbid, happened to you, you know that you have a skill set like this that can and will pay you forever in perpetuity. Because if you can build a channel once that's making $5,000 a month, you can do it twice or thrice or 10 times over. And that is a high income skill that'll save you from any financial burden you can ever experience. Also, earning money while you sleep. Like I said, if you're an influencer, a blogger, you need to exchange your time, energy, and effort to make those videos to then make the money. You're still trading time for money versus here, you're earning money while you sleep because these are systems that work around the clock, right? Now, I can even show you guys an example of one of my students who's just absolutely crushing it right now. Actually, to be honest, I think I have his channel pulled up right here. There it is. $37,000 this month alone. All right. So you can see here, he's trading around like $1,400, $1,500, even $1,800 days. Imagine making $1,800 days for systems that are built. Also, I just got off the phone with him. He spent $650 in content to generate 37,000. He's going to hit $40,000 because the last time this updated was May 28th. So he's going to do another $1,500 day. Plus he has two more $1,500 days from before. He's doing $40,000 this month with only $650 spent. So I digress. It's a fantastic business model. Very, very profitable. Moving on. Let's begin. Let's start off with the idea of creating a faceless video. There's two different ways you could do this. Number one, creating it yourself. And number two, hiring somebody else to create it for you. Let's go into both, all right? Let's say you want to create it yourself. This is going to be doable for basically anybody, but it requires the following. You need a laptop. I don't like people doing this business with just a tablet or a phone. It can work, but it's very, very difficult. It's unnecessary friction that you don't want. So I would recommend doing this with a laptop. You also would need / recommend a decently strong internet connection. It's going to be very helpful because you're going to be sending files from left and right. You're going to have communication, downloading some images, uploading some stuff. You want to be having a relatively high amount of convenience. Otherwise, you could, again, drive yourself crazy and just quit the business because you're not motivated based on how slow everything is moving. The other thing is having software subscriptions. I'll mention them later, but it's going to cost around like $100 to $200 to run the channel for yourself. Literally, if you have $100 to $200,000 in your pocket, disposable every single month to spend on this, you can make this work. You can make thousands of dollars with this business model. That's all it takes, $100 to $200 a month. Anyone here calling this thing a scam? And what is so scammy about $100 to $200 a month to invest into something for 3 to 6 months to see a return? There's not many things out there that can yield such amazing results for such little input. All right, moving on. Script writing is the first step. So basically an entire video is broken into 4 different facets. You have a script writing, you have the voiceover, you have the thumbnail, and you have the video editing. So we're going to go step by step. And the first one is script writing. You can do this all on your own with 2 different tools. You don't need both. You just need one. That's Claude and ChatGPT. That's it. Just these 2. Now, I've also included in my free community, by the way, if you guys have not joined my free community, there's a first link in the description. It's going to allow you guys to join this community. It's a thriving community. We're posting a bunch of stuff here. But most importantly, you get a free course, a full-on crash course, like very, very detailed. Literally everything you need to succeed is all here. You also get 2 free calls a week with myself. I literally sit on these calls for an hour, 2 hours, and just answer all your questions, audit your videos, audit your channel, thumbnails, titles, strategy, low level, high level, everything. Literally Yeah, couldn't ask for more. It's all free. So what else I wanted to tell you though, if you go over here to the AI content creation, you can go and see my script writing tool over here, Expert Script Writer, and I literally have an entire prompt built out for all my students here, literally for free. Just copy and paste it. It is phenomenal. So if you want to, use a script writing tool, you can just join the community, do it for free. This tool will write the entire script for you. I'm actually going to show you a live example of how to do it and how simple it really is. So I just come in here, I went to the school community, I copied the script, I pasted the script, and now it's just going to start asking me a few questions. What's the niche of my channel? Who's my target audience? And what's the topic of the video? Now, once I actually start writing these and answer them out, it's going to start off by writing me 3 different hooks. I've already prompted it. It's going to start with 3 different hooks. It's going to give me 3 different options. I'm going to say the one I like the most. And then from there, it's just going to start writing the script paragraph by paragraph by paragraph. If I like the paragraph, I approve it. If I don't like it, I can ask it to rewrite it, make it more in depth, or try a whole new paragraph in general. So you just go paragraph after paragraph after paragraph until the entire script is done. It's very intelligent and it writes extremely well. So all of a sudden, boom, you have now a script out of thin air from ChatGPT writing AI scripts. All my students use AI. Every single one of my students uses an AI script writing tool like this with our prompts. All right. So we actually have, to be honest, better prompts in our paid program. This is the free one. This is working very well. It's my first iteration, like first version script writing tool. It works great. We have a phenomenal script writing tool in our paid program. If you guys want to learn more about that, just message me. There's a link in the description to book a call with me personally, or just join my school community, send me a message, and we can hop on a call. But basically, from, like I said, 2 minutes of work, you have already a script that's perfectly optimized for YouTube and knows exactly how to write. So there you go. Script writing is out of the way. Now, voiceover. You have a few options here. Number one, you can record voice yourself. So if you want to record it yourself, you can go to a site called Audacity. You can download the software and you can just record your own voice. Obviously, I would recommend that you have a nice mic. But if you don't have a nice mic and you still want to do it yourself, that's fine. You can do it because you can go to something called Adobe Podcast, where you can just upload the file of the audio and then it'll actually use AI to turn it into a podcast quality voiceover. It's actually phenomenal. I can literally go outside, use my iPhone, record myself with the blowing wind and noises in the background, and then upload it into Adobe Podcast, and it'll turn it into a super high quality podcast style voiceover. All right. Now, the other option as well is 11 Labs. You can upload a snippet of your own voice on 11 Labs and clone yourself. In this way, you just have to record a voiceover once, and now you can do as many as you want forever. But I don't think that 11 Labs does the best job at cloning. I still think it'd be best if you did it yourself. Or alternatively, use AI to create the voiceovers, right? So we have 4 different main ones here. We have 11 Labs, which is a very common one. We have Fish Audio. We have Humo, or Whom actually. And then we also have Artlist. And Artlist is a really good one, probably the best one, but the most expensive. Whom is also quite good as well. 11 Labs is a classic. And then Fish Audio is probably the worst quality, but the most reasonable, because for $13 a month, you get unlimited. And also they have a lot of voiceovers. You can even clone them. So these are all the options you have at your disposal, like plenty to work with. So AI, personally, I think is a way to go for most niches. You don't really need you don't need to hire a person anymore. The AI stuff has gotten very, very good. If you so choose to, yes, you'll have better results typically, but you're also adding an extra $15 to $30 to your production cost per video, which is probably unnecessary, especially when you're starting off. So I'm trying to be as cost efficient as possible for most students, for most people. So I think the AI stuff is just, it works awesome. I mean, probably 97% of my students use AI voiceover, and we produce exceptional results. So I think there's nothing wrong with AI voiceovers. Now I'm actually going to show you guys an example of how to use, for example, 11 Labs, so you can see firsthand what it actually looks like and the quality you can get from an AI voiceover. So once you go to 11 Labs, you can go to basically the Explore tab, and you can see a lot of the trending voices, a lot of the ones that's best for English, or even hear different languages is perfectly fine too. Or you can go over here to filters, and you could say narrative and story, or conversational, or characters. Let's go narrative and story, and then we can put male, and we can put old, and then we can see what kind of filters we get over here. And I'll just play a few just for the sake of seeing what these actually sound like.
The spring and early summer of 1940 proved
writing is the art of painting with words.
The sounds of curiosity. What whispers have reached your ears, and how might I assist you to...
So 11 Labs has gotten very, very good. The technology has advanced significantly, even in the last month. And so there's a lot more expression and cadence and tonality, even the breathing you can hear in the background. So I think 11 Labs is an exceptional starting tool and even advanced tool, to be honest. So I would not defer away from using 11 Labs or any of the options I gave you below, because honestly, they're going to do the job. They will do exceptionally well, and you don't need to worry about spending more money. So I'd say for now, 20 bucks a month, you're sorted. You have as many voiceovers as you need for the video production style. So that's part two, is the voiceover. Now moving on to the third one, which is thumbnails. Thumbnails, there's a few options you can do this. You can do this yourself with Photoshop. This is definitely the most advanced. If you don't have Photoshop, it's okay. You can go to adobecreativecloud.com and you can actually just literally rent out Photoshop. It's like 40 bucks a month and you can do it yourself. Now, if you don't have any skills with Photoshop, I would just stay far away from that because it is quite advanced. The second one I'd say is like using Canva if you can do it yourself, or you can use AI with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT will actually literally create thumbnails for you. I'm going to show you guys an example, but obviously you can then take it into Canva and use a bit of tweaking if you really want to get it closer to what you want it to achieve if AI cannot do it for you single-handedly in the thumbnail itself. So let's go ahead and go to ChatGPT. I'll show you guys an example of how to create a thumbnail, literally with just simple English prompts. So I said here, create me a cartoon thumbnail of a witch laughing maliciously on the left, while on the right, I want there to be text saying medieval bedtime stories. Also add a castle wall as a backdrop, slightly blurred, and size 1920 by 1080. So let's see exactly what it creates for us. All right, so as we can see here, this is a very good thumbnail. Without doing anything, I literally already created something that's honestly usable. I would maybe modify this just a little bit, maybe just adding a bit of contrast in the colors, changing some, maybe one to red and then the rest to yellow, something like that, just to make it stand out a little bit more. But this is already fantastic. So one thing about AI is that it'll create the thumbnail for you, but the issue is that it doesn't get the sizing right. It cannot do it 1920 by 1080, which is the size of a YouTube thumbnail. So it's going to be more condensed. So you're actually going to have like 2 bars on the side, so it won't fit. So what you want to do is actually download this. And then what you can do is you can do 2 different things. If you want to do it the right way, you have to extend the sides, but it's a bit more work. If you want to do it the easy way, you can go to a site like this called LightX, upload the image. So once I've uploaded, I can just scroll down to YouTube thumbnail, click on customize, X away here. And then now we can see I've basically, you can see I pull it up and down. I've actually condensed the image. It's going to now show me 1280 by 720, which is the equivalent of 1920 by 1080. And I can just adjust it so it's in the middle here. And I can now download this image. And now it is literally the size of YouTube. So I don't have to go and do any modifying. But if you want to do this differently and maybe go a little bit more above and beyond to make it perfect, then you can go into Canva. You could type in YouTube thumbnail. And then you can actually use AI to add the edges. All right, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do this. So start a brand new thumbnail and then open this and add your image into Canva. And then you can add this image over here. And as you can see, you're going to have the 2 edges on the side. So that's very simple to fix now. I'll show you guys exactly how. So head over to edit and then scroll all the way to the right. You'll see magic expand. So here you can go to whole page like this and click on expand. Now, obviously this is a premium service, right? So you have to get the Canva AI premium. So it's up to you if you choose to do this, if you want to, but again, it's just going a little bit above and beyond. I'm just trying to show you both options. So sometimes you kind of have to because you don't have the luxury of just zooming it in. But if you want to, you could just do it this way. And with AI, it's already created for you the perfect thumbnail without needing to actually do anything. I just clicked one button and now I have the perfect size thumbnail. See, it's the same thing here on the other one, but it's just because I was able to blow it up a little bit. It was fine, but sometimes you can't because you actually cut out something important. So you can use AI to create the same thing for you now. Now that's basically the whole thumbnail. You can use the same thing over and over again. Now I'm going to show you guys one other really cool thing about ChatGPT and how you can create thumbnails and why it's actually so lucrative to use something like AI to create thumbnails. So let's just say I want to actually copy a competitor thumbnail. I'll show you what ChatGPT can do in seconds. So let's just say I want to steal a competitor's thumbnail and make something like it. I'm going to go to a video like this, for example, and I'm actually just going to click over here and this download and copy thumbnail. If you don't have NextLab, by the way, just go to my community, head over to Classroom, head over to Growth Tools, and then click over here for NextLab. You can use this code right here for 20% off. It is the best product you will ever have. If you're trying to do YouTube automation seriously, you need NextLab. It does everything for you, especially downloading thumbnails and scripts with one click. It is just so convenient. So let's go back into here and we can actually upload that thumbnail. So I uploaded and I said, recreate this thumbnail, but instead of the people, I want to add 2 witches laughing and sipping on a margarita. So let's see what it does here. And there you go. Look at that. Within seconds, I literally have an exact emulation of the original thumbnail, but I made it witches. I didn't have to do anything. Even look at the detail, like the text is behind the hat and everything I said with a margarita looks great, same style within seconds. I'm paying basically nothing for this entire service, this software, ChatGPT. It's all built in. I don't have to have any skills, barely simple English. I now copied the thumbnail. It's already proven to work and I made it my own. And that's all you need to do. And then again, if you want to go above and beyond, even here, okay, this doesn't actually fit. As you can see, it doesn't fit in the thumbnail as it is right now. But if I go here to edit and I go back over to Magic Expand and go whole page and expand, it's going to work exactly like it did before and expand it to fit the thumbnail size. And boom, there you have it. Literally expanded and perfect for YouTube, ready to post. This is all it takes, guys. So I just wanted to show you guys how incredibly lucrative it is to do this business model right now, because again, as a beginner, not knowing anything about YouTube automation or video creation or animation or thumbnail design, you don't have to. You can literally just use AI to create winning videos. It's that simple. Just actually taking the action to do this is all it takes. Just putting that first step forward and making this thing work is all you need. All right. So we have Canva, AI, and Photoshop. I recommend you guys use AI and Canva to make this thing work. That's it. It's very, very cheap and very cost effective. All right. Moving on, we have the video editing. You have 2 options in this. All right. Number 1, you have Clipchamp, and number 2, you have CapCut. So Clipchamp is a new one. It's free. I'm going to leave a link here. I'll hyperlink this so you guys can click it and download it. It's just a free editing software. And the next one is CapCut. CapCut is a classic one. Everyone knows CapCut. So you can just go ahead and download CapCut as well. I'll also leave a link here for you guys. So very, very simple. I'm not going to show you guys exactly how to edit videos, but I am going to give you guys a breakdown of specifically, if you do end up editing videos, some things you need to know to do and not to do, because you can get in a lot of trouble with doing YouTube videos and editing them incorrectly. So I'm going to teach you guys the guidelines of how editors get away with stealing content from other channels and making money. I'm going to show you the whole fair use policy, how it all works, why it works, and how you can do it the simplest and safest way. So let's begin. All right. How do we even make these videos? All right. So how do we download the content? What allows us to monetize stolen and copyright content? And how do we ensure that we never get hit with copyright issues? Let's get into it, all right? So now the first thing to understand is the fair use policy, all right? There is a YouTube fair use policy. This is what you guys all need to read to understand how this business model actually works. So basically, fair use is a legal doctrine that says the use of copyright protected material under certain circumstances is allowed without permission from the copyright holder. Because many people wonder, are you reaching out to these people and asking them? No, we're not, because there's certain conditions that allow us to use other people's content and make money off of it because they fall under fair use. All right. So the exceptions around the world, there's a few factors here. Number 1, the purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. All right. So the nature of copyrighted content, the amount of substantiality of the portion used relative to the whole copyrighted work, and the effect of the use upon the potential market for or value of the copyrighted work. So let me put this into layman's terms. All right. So basically what they're saying here is that if you add your own commentary or original opinion over the video, you can monetize it. That's why you need to have a script and a voiceover in each video. So the second one is the nature of copyrighted work. There's not much here really. It's just saying the using of material from primarily factual works is more likely to be fair use than using purely fictional work. So not really much there. The third one is saying the substantiality of portion, right? So how much you're using. Now they say borrowing small bits is more likely to be considered fair use than borrowing large portions, meaning if you take something that's considered to be the heart of the work without even modifying it, then you're going to be hit with copyright, which is fair, right? Basically just stealing content, calling it your own. So that's why I say over here, you need to apply the 5 to 6 second rule, all right? Every single editor knows this, and you, if you're editing content yourself, need to know this. You can take any piece of content from anybody, but you can only use 5 to 6 seconds consecutively of any copyright clip. So if you take 10 videos, You could take 5-6 seconds from here, from here, from here, from here, from here, put them all together, and now you have something that's transformative. But that's not enough. You can't just take content and take small snippets. You have to do the thing, like I said at the beginning, which is to add your own opinion or commentary over the video, hence the script and voiceover, for at least 80% of the video. If you do these two things alone, you are completely secure for the most part from copyright. There's some exceptions where some things like sports, NFL, soccer, they get really finicky about like in-game footage. That's why I don't really recommend any of my students using in-game footage, because even though there's fair use, sometimes they just go above and beyond and they still try and take your content down. They don't like that kind of content going out. And so just be very wary. And that's why I say it's so advantageous to work with somebody who understands YouTube in and out. You know, I've been doing this for 5 years plus. So I know for sure you can go into certain niches with no issues and certain niches with a lot of issues. And so I would obviously derail you from going into the difficult niches because I don't want you to be hit with copyright. It's very important to have somebody there in your corner who can steer you left and right and make sure you're not making the wrong decisions. But assuming you just do this, for the most part, you'll be perfectly fine in most niches. 5 to 6 seconds and adding a voiceover, perfectly fine. Now, you can download videos from anybody by literally using a site like this, cobalt.tools. Just paste the link to the video, click download. It's going to literally just download the video within seconds. Super easy. And once you have that, then you can just put it into CapCut and start editing the videos. All right, moving on. Now we have getting music for your videos. I recommend 3 different places. Number 1 is the YouTube studio. So when you go into YouTube, you can go into the studio and you'll see a place where you can actually download music for your channel. So on the YouTube studio, you can go scrolling to the left, you'll see all the tabs here. And if you go to YouTube audio library, you will see all these different songs that you can use that are all copyright free and they'll never run into any issues ever. So if you just go in here, you can sort by music style, themes, all this kind of stuff. You'll find tons of content here. It's going to be the safest place to receive audio without running into the risk of any copyright stuff. The next one is Artlist. They also have a really good selection of music. Or the next one is Epidemic Sound. These are great platforms, the safest platforms. The one thing, the tip here I'm going to put in bold, never, never, never search up copyright-free music on YouTube and try and use this music, because most times it's not going to be copyright free. And maybe it is right now, but at any point in time, those people can go and actually incorporate those songs and get the rights to those songs. And then all of a sudden you owe them money for using that music. You don't want to find yourself in a situation where all your videos no longer make money because the person who you thought was giving you copyright free music is now claiming all of your videos, which can and has happened a lot. There's one site over here, NCS, No Copyright Sounds. They are actually another place that does offer copyright-free music, which I would maybe more or less trust. They've been around for a very long time, but still, like I said, at any point in time, they can just switch up on you. It's not really worth it. That's why even going for a place like Artlist or Epidemic Sound, you are paying like 20-ish bucks a month, but you know for sure you never have to worry about anything with copyright or owning the rights to the music that's in your video. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys how to actually hire out a team to create the content for you. We'll start off with every single step, like the script writing, voiceover, thumbnail, and title. First step is script writing. There's 2 different sites that I recommend for script writing, which is Fiverr and Upwork. Now, if you want to hire somebody from Upwork, I actually have in my free school community, again, a script that you can use. You can just go over here to Classroom, go over to team building and production. And in here, you'll literally see scripts for hiring teams, whether it's a scriptwriter, voiceover artist, literally like a copy and paste template of hiring people for each individual part of the video creation process. I've made it very simple for you guys. It's all free. So I would recommend more or less Upwork. This is my preferred one, simply because you do get higher quality people. And when you're posting a job, you're very intentional about what you say. You say exactly what you want. You say you want people who have experience doing it, and you put your price exactly the way you want to pay. So now people that come to you know exactly what to expect and how much you want to pay them, instead of going through Fiverr and trying to navigate and bargain with them. It's actually a lot better with Upwork, but of course you'll find great talent on Fiverr as well. All right. Now the next thing is voiceovers. There's 3 different ways to do voiceovers. I still recommend AI because it's just so good and so convenient. But if you don't want to, you can go to Upwork. You can also go to Fiverr and hire people directly from there as well. A typical voiceover is running between $15 to $25 per voiceover, depending how good they are. The next thing is thumbnails. All right, we have AI, like I just showed you guys. I still recommend that. The next thing we have is Fiverr. We have Upwork as well. And there's other sites called Behance. The Behance is a really cool platform for artists. So if you type in YouTube thumbnail, you'll see some really great thumbnail artists as well here. Probably the top of the top tier thumbnail artists, but you'll find people here that are charging between like $10 to $20, even upwards of $50 to $100 per thumbnail. So of course, you're going to find a lot of the same people on Fiverr on here as well. But here's where you can really find the very, very talented thumbnail artists who, again, are working for Mr. Beast or all the big players. This is where you'll find them. And again, you can charge up to $100 a thumbnail. And mind you, it'll be a great thumbnail. So maybe not the best for beginners, but it's also a fantastic platform in general. Then we have Discord, all right? So there's a couple Discord groups. This one is called Creative Paradise, all right? So when you go into Creative Paradise, you'll find a place where you can actually post jobs and find a bunch of different freelancers, both for script writing, voiceovers, thumbnails, everything, but they have a lot of thumbnail artists. They have a lot of editors there as well. So same thing here for editing. You have Fiverr, you have Upwork, you have onlinejobs.ph. This is another really cool site. It's specifically for Filipinos, so that's why PH is for Philippines, and you can hire really, really good, competent Filipinos. You do have to pay monthly for the access to the website, but if you do really want some great workers, you can find some great ones here as well. Even like virtual assistants or channel managers or project managers, a great place to find them is onlinejobs.ph. And then you have the two Discord channels. You have one, which is the Creative Paradise, and another one that's called Video Editors. These are fantastic Discords, but bear in mind, you're not going to find cheap editors here. They're going to be more expensive, but they're also going to be a lot higher quality, more competent. So this is two fantastic resources for you guys. I do want to give you a huge tip, which is don't use AI editing tools. Don't edit videos with AI. I will never openly speak about this and say like, hey, you'll never hear it come from me saying, go use AI to edit the videos. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Do not use any software that says it can edit your videos. Just put in a prompt or put in the script. It's not going to work. So just don't use AI editing tools. It's not going to work at all. All right, guys, I want to take a second to give you guys some bonuses. You need to know what to look out for. The beginning of the video, I told you guys you're not going to make any money because you don't understand YouTube. So the point of this ending part here is to understand YouTube and what actually works, what you need to look out for, and how to optimize your videos accordingly. If you don't understand these following things, you're not going to make money. You need to understand these fundamentals. There's data to this business that makes the business work. And the 4 important metrics that most people don't talk about and are so crucial to your success are as following. The first one is CTR, which is a click-through rate. All right. This is the percentage of people that saw your video on their screen and decided to click it. The click-through rate. This consists of your title and your thumbnail. That's how they determine the click-through rate. It's also very important to understand what is an important click-through rate percentage to go viral. So if you get anything over 6%, you're very likely to be in the realm of going viral. It's, of course, a combination of things. It's not just your click-through rate, but if you hit a 6%, it's a really good minimum to know that your thumbnail and title are optimized enough for it to go viral. All right. The next thing is your AVD, which is your average view duration. How long somebody spent watching your video. Very simple. There's not much to it, right? Now, there's another secret metric, which is the first 30-second metric, all right? First 30 seconds. This is a metric that's also very important because it's actually underneath on the analytics side. If you head over to any video analytics and go to the bottom, you'll see here the chart, the first 30 seconds graph. 74% of your viewers are still watching after the 30-second mark. This is very good. So I tell all my students 75% and up is perfectly acceptable. If it's under that, you need to make optimization. All right, so 75% and up is perfect. All right, so this is call it number 3. So this is something you need to also look out for. 100%. It's just as relevant and important as the AVD is the first 30 seconds. And for AVD, I recommend 35% and up is perfectly fine and very likely to go viral. Of course, 40, 50, 60% is also better, but 35%, 6% click-through rate, 75% and up, you have a very good chance at going viral. Now, there's another thing that nobody talks about, nobody even knows about. It's a hidden metric, and that is called ASD, which is the average session duration. How many videos somebody watched consecutively. And the reason why this is important is because YouTube has one goal in mind. They want to keep people on the platform for as long as humanly possible. It's your job to keep people consecutively watching videos. And that is up to the way that you create your content, the way you actually strategize your content. So whenever I'm creating videos with my students, I always tell them to think in series, right? So if somebody watches one video, how likely are they to watch the second video, the third video, and the fourth video? And that really comes down to the planning phase. So really thinking the content through and trying to make everything that's kind of iterations of each other, right? So if they're interested in this, they very likely would also be interested in this, in this, and this. And how can we convince them at the end of the video to say, okay, if you like this video, you'll definitely want to watch this one as well. So the cliffhangers and the view loop strategies that we implement on our videos are what has people watching from one video to the next to the next. If YouTube sees that you're pushing people from one video to the second, to the third, to the fourth, they will reward you. It's kind of a magical number that's hidden. Nobody really knows, but you know because your channel is just blowing up because they know, okay, if we promote this person's video and channel, they're going to keep people watching on the videos on the channel, which is going to keep the retention high on the platform and make us more money. So ASD is a very, very important metric. It's very under talked about. All right. And the last one is the topic itself. Again, a topic that no one really talks about is the importance of the topics. You could have the best click-through rate, the best average view duration, everything could be perfect. But if the topic itself is not of interest, this is a simple supply and demand economics. If the topic itself is not of interest and there's not enough TAM, total addressable market, meaning the addressable market, like the amount of people that could possibly enjoy that video is not that high, or the interest is not that high, it doesn't matter. The video is never going to go anywhere. So it's very important to also know your topics, do the right kind of topic ideation and the topic research to really see if there's enough interest for that topic for it to even go viral at all. So guys, that pretty much wraps it up. If you want to get free support from me, just join my school community. First link in the description. I have 2 calls a week. I have a free course and a very thriving community of people that can ask me questions personally and get coached for free. But if you want to get coached on a more personal level with myself, having your own dedicated coach, having 12 calls a week, which is the most in the industry, and having a community that's thriving as well, you can also join our paid community. So if you join school, you can just send me a message there and book a call with me, or even under this, I'll have a link directly to book a call with us. And then that way you can see if it's a good fit. It is a 4-figure investment because we guarantee everything back in 6 months' time. If you don't make back your investment of working with me, I not only give it all back to you in full, but I also pay you $2,000 on top for wasting your time. Nobody in the industry is doing that because nobody is that confident, but we have so many results to back everything up. I have a student that started with me 1 month ago, literally 1 month ago. Look at these results right here. Look at this. How nice would it be to making $33 to $300 to $400? And this is actually behind 2 days. He's already at $1,200 in the first 4 days of being monetized. He's hovering around $400 a day, probably end up being $1,000 a day quite soon here. The channel is just, every single video is taking off right now. That's within 1 month, guys. And I showed you the other channel doing 30,000. I have another student doing 35,000. There's plenty of opportunities with this business model. You just need to start today and stop making excuses, because like I said at the beginning of the video, most of you are not going to make money. And it's because you simply refuse to learn the rules of the game. So let me teach you. If you don't want to pay me for my time, that's perfectly fine. If you want to just consume my free content, at least please do that, because my intention with this content is just to guide you in the right direction, to point you in the right direction so you don't make silly mistakes, because a lot of other people in the space that are guiding you in the wrong directions, they don't either know what they're talking about or they don't have your best interest at heart. So at least consume the free content and just put yourself in the right vehicle, rowing it correctly, and you'll make money with this. But like I said, you want to accelerate that timeline, you can choose to work with us. But if you made it this far, you guys are MVPs. I appreciate all the support and love. I'll see you guys on the next video.